Hello my friends, my name is Nazar and I'll explain Ukraine to you. For more than 2 months, Ukrainians are fighting for their freedom. But there are many people who are still trying to understand how in the 21st century, in the center of the Europe, a real bloody war could have happened. The most obvious answer is that Putin is just a maniac who is ready to kill all humanity for the sake of his ambitions. But there are many people for whom this explanation is not enough, and they are looking for the other side of the story. And the internet is more than happy to give you a variety of theories. If you are not very bright, you will be served with a narrative about Ukrainian Nazis, or biological weapon facilities in Ukraine, or that Ukrainians didn't share borscht with Russians.
Нельзя было делиться борщом. Ну нельзя. Он должен был принадлежать только кому-то одному. Вот только кому-то одному, какому-то одному народу, одной национальности. А так, чтобы он был общий, так это и есть то, о чем мы говорим, ксенофобия, нацизм, экстремизм во всех видах.
And for those who are a little bit smarter than a toaster, there is a very appealing narrative out there that Russian war on Ukraine is really the fault of the West and United States.
This crisis, which now is an actual war, is all about the West's efforts to make Ukraine a Western bulwark on Russia's borders.
The idea is very simple. That collective West, led by United States, provoked Russia to invade Ukraine by constantly expanding NATO to Russian borders. And poor Putin was forced to respond.
Don't angry me.
And ironically, Putin himself is using the exact same explanation for his invasion into Ukraine.
Это было неизбежно. Вопрос был только во времени. Мы предпринимаем меры обеспечения безопасности самой России. Очевидно, что другого выбора у нас не было. Это правильный шаг.
But what all these Western intellectuals are missing is that Putin lies every time he opens his mouth. And by repeating his narrative, you are simply playing on his side. And you are mixing cause and effect. NATO's expansion eastwards was not a cause of the invasion. It was just a convenient excuse for a much greater plan, which is making Russia great again.
Future greatness of Russia.
Meet Alexander Dugan, Russian political philosopher who is called Putin's philosopher and who is believed to be the godfather of modern Russian fascism. Dugan is believed to be the inspiration behind all Russian foreign policy for the last 20 years, and he suspiciously looks like a guy that I would keep away from my kids' kindergarten. Dugan introduced the idea of annexation Ukraine and destroying it as an independent state far, far away in 1997 in his book The Foundations of Geopolitics. And this book became extremely popular and influential among Russian military and intelligence ever since. Let's not give this pervert more credit than he really deserves. Dugan didn't invent Russian imperialism, which is just an essence of Russia as a state. He just gave it a new ideological background. To put it simple, Russia is a castrated version of Soviet Union empire. And Russian elites see the only way of restoration Russian greatness in restoration of the empire. And destroying Ukraine as a separate state has always been the inevitable part of this imperialistic ambition.
The Soviet Union? I thought you guys broke up.
Yes, that's what we wanted you to think.
And don't forget that in Soviet times, the main evidence of Russian greatness was the ability to challenge America.
Our position is that we are going to fight up to the end in order to show to everybody that United States is not any more unique master. It's very serious.
You know, every time I hear this Rasputin wannabe talking, I just want to tell him,
stop it. Get some help.
But someone who is smarter than two toasters can say, wait a minute, this is a photo of an average Russian village. Wait a minute, what greatness and rule of world are you talking for the country, 22% of population of which are still shitting in the hole in the ground?
Are you stupid or something?
And that is the main point, my friend. Despite all the territories and natural resources, Putin has failed to make Russia into a really great country that would actually attract its neighbors, not to scare them off to seek protection from NATO. Because, you know, you cannot build a sustainable economy and own a 1 billion yacht at the same time. So Putin just exploited the idea of NATO's expansion eastwards to cover for the failure of his leadership. It does not matter that you are shitting like your grandfather, comrade, but we are ruling the world. We are fighting America.
Всегда войной легче прикрыть свои провалы в экономической и в социальной политике.
So we have a dictator with a lot of deadly weapons who wants to rule the world. We have a crazy professor with the fascist ideas of restoration of the greatness of the nation. And we have a proud independent nation on the expense of which those two were planning to restore their greatness and rule the world. So NATO has little to do with this situation. And it was just a matter of time when this flammable combination will blow up. And hopefully won't blow up the whole world. Guys, thank you for watching up to this moment. If you want to support Ukrainians in their fight for freedom, you can find the official bank accounts for donations in the description to this video. If you want to support our channel, you know, like, comment, share and subscribe. We are also on Patreon for those who feel that this thing between us is becoming serious. Слава Україні!